As Montreal unveiled its full budget on Wednesday, Laval Mayor Stéphane Boyer gave a sneak peek of his city's upcoming budget, with property taxes set to go up by 4.8%. Full details of Laval's budget are expected to be released on December 12th, but with more on what to expect in that city, the mayor of Laval, Stéphane Boyer, is on the line. Monsieur le Maire, welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
So I know you released some details yesterday. Let's start off with the property taxes because that's the big number here. I know there's some happiness that it's below the rate of inflation, but of course the rate of inflation is quite high. So tell me about the 4.8 and how you got there.
Yes, well, I think all cities will agree that this year was maybe the hardest year to buckle the budget. So the main rate will be 4.8%, which means around $160 per household. But to get there, we had to do some efforts. For example, in the last year, we canceled our biggest project, which was a biomethanization factory to make gas. So we had to cut some projects because we know it's hard for our business, it's hard for our families, and at the same time, the cost of maintaining the roads, maintaining the buildings of the cities are rising sharply. So it was not an easy budget to balance out for 2024.
Well, I think people will appreciate cutting big projects that can wait in order to help them out. What about services? Are services going to be affected?
No, our focus was to be able to buckle the budget with the lowest increase possible, but we didn't want to cut in the services. So we did we did fire a few employees at the administration level, but when it comes to blue collar maintaining the road, when it comes to services in our bibliothèque or regarding the citizens, like with sports or the summer camp for kids, we didn't do any cuts there. So we tried to maintain the services as they are, but we didn't put any new projects, on the table.
So, and let's just talk, because there are some changes that are happening on taxation in Laval, right? With water taxes and that, and how things are calculated, and also public transportation and those fees. Can you go through that? And at the end of the day, what does that mean for the taxpayer?
Yeah, well, the baseline is that for most people it's 4.8% increase, but people will see some changes on their bill. What we've done is we know that the cost of public transit is rising rapidly. So we did a big modification on that tax. It will pass from $60 to $200. But to balance it out, we put the general tax lower. Mm-hmm. And the other thing we've done is that there's a raise on the tax for water infrastructure. And this is just to keep, to follow the law, because when we have a special tax, it needs to finance what it is mean for. So as the cost for water rise, we need to raise the tax. But overall, it's a $160 increase for the average household.
Mayor Boyer, a lot of our listeners, if they're not in Laval and they're on the island of Montreal, they're very frustrated this morning. They saw the increases in their boroughs or in their, and they know it's going to affect their municipalities if it's a demerged municipality after Montreal passes on some of the costs, and they may be looking to other places to live. What's your pitch to a frustrated Montrealer on what they can expect if they go to Laval tax-wise?
Well, I think when we look at the history in Laval, we've raised our taxes always below the inflation. So, of course, we try not to raise it too much. I think looking forward, there are new power that municipalities will get this year in terms of taxation. One of the things that I want to look at is what could we do for the next budget with those new powers that we'll have towards especially smaller businesses. I know that for restaurants or that kind of business, it's very hard right now, and we want a city where business can thrive, get services, and so we'll see if we cannot do something special for smaller businesses in the next budget. Same thing for the new household that wants to buy a property. We know there are the bienvenue taxes.
The welcome taxes, yes.
The welcome taxes. The government is looking at the possibility to give the cities the possibility to split it on many bills over the time, so that when you buy your house, you don't have to, pay such a big amount on a one-time deal. You could be splitting it, over a year or two. So this means, that we might be able to help families buy a new house or a new condominium by paying less taxes. But we don't have those powers yet. But I think in 2024 we will be introducing things that will be interesting for younger families and small businesses.
With the mayor of Laval, Stéphane Boyer, talking about that city's upcoming budget. Some details were released on Wednesday. I know you gave a sneak peek yesterday, Mayor Boyer. Is there any more sneak peeks you can offer us this morning? Something perhaps that we haven't covered today that you want to let Lavalers and others be aware of?
Well, the budget will be brought to the council in December, but I think it will not be a sexy budget. As times are hard, there is nothing new in it. We're just trying to keep serving the citizens with the current services. So, in the past, sometimes we use the budget to make some new big announcements. This time, there will be no surprise. It's the projects that we've been discussing in the last few years. We want to realize them, but there's nothing new, so it's not very sexy this year.
Well, listen, I think I speak for a lot of taxpayers that, we don't require sexiness. We want things in check. We don't want outrageous spending, especially at a time like this. On spending, can you just give me your philosophy? You mentioned that you had to cut back on some employees, white-collar employees in the administration in Laval. You made those decisions. But can you go through what goes through your mind when you have to say, you look at budget numbers and you say, this has to go. We have to remove this cost. How do you make those determinations?
Well, I think, one of the things is when you have, for example, a business and you do something for your customers and people love it and they buy your product or your service, you keep doing it again and again and again. And life change, the context change, needs of people change, and sometimes people don't realize it, and they keep trying to sell something that nobody wants anymore. Maybe we could think about a DVD shop that is useless today, but it wasn't 10 years ago. And I think what the city has to do is to try to have this reflection itself. Do everything we are doing right now is still something that is very important for our citizens, or is it just something we've been doing it for 20 years without questioning? So to me, it's the same thing. We need to make sure that all the employees, everything we do is still very important. If it's not strategic to do it, if it's not important for our citizens, not because we've done it since ever, that we still need to do it. So I try to bring my teams to re-question everything we do in the different branches of the city.
That's a terrific analogy, right? Boy, do I hate if it's 2023 and we've got a city spending money on DVD shops when everyone is streaming. Great analogy. We have to leave it there, Mayor Boyer. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
That's the Mayor of Laval, Stéphane Boyer.